Both animation and live action utilize the same techniques such as cinematography, music, writing, etc., but they both have certain techniques wholly specific to only them. Today we're looking at one such technique, which has been a big part of animation since the days of old Disney. This technique is called plasmatics, and more specifically, we'll be looking at how plasmatics can be used to relay and support a theme. And for further simplicity, we'll be looking at its use in one particular animation. We'll be investigating Princess Mononoke, a movie animated by Studio Ghibli and produced by the legendary Hayao Miyazaki. We'll be looking at how plasmatics is used to support its themes of deforestation and its consequences. Now, before we even get into Princess Mononoke and its themes and such and how plasmatics relates to them, what is plasmatics? Well, it was named by a guy named Sergei Eisenstein in 1940, who described Disney films, and by extension all animated cartoons, as having the quality of plasmaticness. Basically, that just means that the characters and objects in animation have the ability to bend reality and move in a very bouncy, freeform way. A good example would be like Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry. Now, plasmatics also seem to work in the same vein as the uncanny valley. Weird looking things from the uncanny valley can either be very funny looking or be terrifying. An example would be the usage of plasmatics in Akira. It can be used to make the viewers feel a sense of discomfort through creating a gruesome display. This is known as the animation school of violence, where a character gets either flattened, blown out, or disfigured, all by the use of plasmatics. Princess Mononoke uses plasmatics in two ways. The first way is to create a sense of intrigue and mysticism. The entire look of the forest spirit is meant to look uncanny. I mean, it's a deal with a human face. But while it does look uncanny, it isn't meant to make the viewer feel uncomfortable. That is because it moves slowly and with elegance, and the way plasmatics is used on it reflects that. That is because plasmatics is only uncomfortable when it moves fast and jittery, or when it's pulsing. Mainly this is because those look like aggravated insects or the inside of a human body, both of which are primal fears of humans. But when the movement is slowed and dignified, it still looks unnatural, but it doesn't make us feel uncomfortable, thus creating a sense of otherworldliness. This is also much more prominent when the forest spirit becomes the Nightwalker. I infer Princess Mononoke does this in order to say that the forests of the world are inherently mystic and otherworldly, and that while humans may view it as a danger initially, it doesn't mean any harm. Now, Princess Mononoke also tells us that can change very fast if we mess with it. When the forest spirit is shot in the head and it becomes aggressive, the animation plasmatics reflects that. It becomes jittery, pulsing, and starts attacking everything. This leads us to the other way plasmatics is used in animation. It is used to make the viewers feel uncomfortable. Two examples would be Ashitaka's hand and the demon boar, both of which looks like either insects are inside of the skin or on top of the skin. This appeals to the primal fears, mutilation, and loss of anatomy. Princess Mononoke makes the viewers uncomfortable when it comes to the topic of demons, because the demons in Princess Mononoke are the symbolization of what happens when you piss off the forest. This connects to the theme, as the animation subconsciously tells us that the murder of animals and the forest is meant to be uncomfortable, and what happened to Ashitaka's hand is the consequences of it. Now, while Ashitaka did have nothing to do with destroying the forest also sadly affects bystanders. And so, those are the ways plasmatics relate to the themes of Princess Mononoke. Animation has a lot of techniques unique to it, and one of them being plasmatics, which is the effect of characters and objects bending and breaking reality with their movement. Depending on how it's used, it can either make people laugh, feel intrigued, or feel uncomfortable. It is something that started off with Disney, and is something that is inherently in all animation. It is used in Princess Mononoke to make the viewers understand the themes of deforestation and the dangers and repercussions that come from it. Lastly, all this shows us the deeper power of animation and what it can convey to us.